today's session? Any questions, comments, any more insights? What's opening up for you? What are you seeing? Like that.
One of the things I'm noticing, Freddie, is that the lack of transparency that exists between the leader and the team. And basically, it's because of the fear of consequences about being open and sharing and all that. And in a team, and we see my boss's boss has got a transparency issue. Like my boss is not transparent with his boss, and it
But
impacts
can
a
you?
lot on
I think
productivity.
it's perfect what you're saying. But can you say the same thing in the ULab language? Well, how would it be in the ULab language?
That is, my boss has a big download about his boss,
And that is one.
and
Another way of saying it is that what is happening is level one field of conversation, right?
yeah, level one, and a lot of hiding on actual opportunities that can emerge in the
Yeah,
business,
yeah.
and playing it down such that he's safe in those commitments that he makes.
Yeah, level one field of conversation is really a lack of power. The people say yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, because they feel they have no power.
And they can do much better, but they don't communicate that because they feel that if they fail, then they'll be held to account.
Yes.
That's what that's a download about they have about the boss. So if 100 is possible, they'll only communicate 50.
And the only other alternative they see is the debate where they argue. And arguing is not going to get them anywhere.
Yeah.
So they don't follow that track.
So the head of the organization is completely unaware that a larger future is possible, but based on this non-transparency, he gives into this game of subdued performance and believes that's the only thing possible. And it hurts. When I'm talking about my own department, right? It hurts.
I know. I think you will find yourself being much more powerful if you can translate your language into the ULab language. Because the way you've got it, you don't have any access to anything with that language. This
Yeah.
non-transparency, the only thing that it opens up is become transparent. Become transparent is stick my jaw out so I can get whacked.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like, right?
Yeah.
So what will shift it?
Being aware about the voice of fear.
No, you are number 3 on the scale, right?
Yeah.
There's your CEO, there's your boss, and then there's you, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So at your level, how can you shift it? Because you only have access to your level.
Yeah. 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 I can sense the voice of fear or cynicism about my boss, and then enable him to communicate. Somehow shift that
That's
for him.
only if he gives you permission to do that. And he's not
Yeah.
likely to. He's your boss. He's got the fear. He's not going to open himself up the moment you point out to him, I think you're afraid of the boss. He'll slap you down. How about starting with yourself? Are you transparent with him?
Yeah. That is
You are?
what. And I am. And I keep saying, that why don't we communicate this to them? Why are we separating him from our team? He's part of our team. Let's be open and communicating. And he keeps on putting me down, saying, "No, you don't understand."
Yes, because you don't understand.
He says, "You don't
Correct.
understand.
You don't understand.
It'll come back to us if we are
It will
transparent."
come back to you if you're transparent.
Yeah.
So you have to find a way that's outside from the box, the thinking box you are thinking inside of.
Mm.
You got the outcome. You know what the outcome is. The outcome is you want open and honest communication. But there are consequences to open and honest communication the way it is right now. So how do you get to the outcome called open and honest communication in the lack of infrastructure that's there for that to happen? And that will not happen. It's not an easy answer.
Yeah.
But if you get committed to making it happen, you will find some avenues, small steps, baby steps. You can't take large steps.
Yeah.
You know, to trip somebody, to trip a big, heavy person, you don't need a lot of force. You just have to find a nice little lever and
Right.
boom, the guy will come down. But for that, you have to find out what that is.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'll have to discover that. I got what you're
Well,
saying.
first thing you have to do is stop your downloading about it. That
Yeah.
and the downloading will be something about right and wrong. They should do this. They shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Second
Absolutely.
is open your mind and start to see the facts around the whole situation that is stopping him from doing that. Then open
Right.
your heart and get to what is going on in his heart, and yours, so there is a connection there. And then there's a level 3 level of communication, which is you start to see the future that he is and empower the future that he is.
Ah, got it.
And
That I
none
got.
of it is easy because he's your boss. It's not, you could do it with your subordinate, but he's your boss. So how do you do that with your boss?
Yeah.
Well, you find a way to do it, but you can.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And you
I think
use the
that
tools
that
you have.
kind of,
Do an empathy walk with the guy. Do a stakeholder interview with the guy, your boss.
yeah.
Get an understanding of him. And don't do it like officially. Do it over a cup of tea or something. So you
Yeah.
get to know what is he committed to. You get to know his world, where he lives and how he lives, without making any judgment about it, without seeing immediate answers. You really do have to do a case clinic with the guy.
Yeah.
But you can't do a case clinic if he doesn't give you permission to do the case clinic. But what do we do in the case clinic? We kind of reflect back how they occur to us so that they can see themselves the way we see them. But it needs permission. So where there is a permission, where you do an actual case clinic that you did here, there is permission. But with your boss, there is no permission. But you could jokingly say, it looks to me like you're a little fellow, little child who's stuck with blah, 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 if you find the space to say it.
Yeah.
You
So
need to build a relationship with him first.
that is there. What was missing for me was the level 3 conversation. So I was more on downloading, noticing my downloading and suspending it, but not engaging in a level 3 conversation. I got that.
Yeah. And level 4. You want to go
Yeah.
from level 3 to level 4.
Co-creation.
Co-creation.
Yeah.
So it's not you creating it, it's not him creating it, it's co-creation.
Yeah. Yeah. Got it.
And eventually, if you do talk to the CEO or the big boss, even then it's going to be co-creation.
Yeah.
I mean, the space in the organization is not a space for co-creation. The space is of hierarchy. The education, the thinking, the language everyone is speaking is a hierarchy conversation. Whereas really what is going to take the future, have people listen to the future that is emerging and be inspired by it and work together and learn together and act together. All that requires a completely different space and a different education.
Right.
Yeah.
But it looks as though there is something you can bite on here.
Yeah.
Just have your attention on your intention. Your intention is that you transform the relationship between the CEO and your boss and you, so that there's a whole open and honest communication there. That's your intention. And if you put your attention on the intention, energy will flow there.
Right.
You will see openings and opportunities and things to do that you don't see if you don't have your attention on it. Right now, you can't say what it'll be.
Yeah.
And one more thing for you, SK. One more thing for you. This is really, and for everybody. You don't want to be in a hurry. You want to be a farmer. You want to nurture the soil. You want to take care of that soil. In organic farming, if you don't take care of the soil, you're doomed. You can't be in a hurry. I want so many tons. Now, you have to keep nurturing the soil, keep nurturing the soil, because the more you nurture the soil, then that really beautiful food, beautiful crops, beautiful fruits, they come. But it takes farming. It's not going to happen by, I want this right now. This guy is not listening to me. Like not expecting quick results. It's farming.